Well, good Monday morning, everyone. I hope you had a wonderful weekend. I did. I couldn't wait to talk to you all this morning about something so special. Um, every time I think about it, it brings a smile to my face. I woke up this morning with a smile on my face because it was on my mind. Just about every woman that I know personally, and I have daughters, 6 of them. And so I get a lot of first date stories. Um, so let me tell you all a story about a first date that I had. Now, you need to watch it all the way to the end so you can get every juicy detail. And it's juicy. Anyway, it started, I was at a Mother's Day gathering, and this guy walks in, all heads turned when he came through the door. Tall, muscular, beard well groomed, smelling like $1,000,000. And you can hear women whispering, "Who is that? Oh my God, who is that? Did he come in by himself? Is he alone? Is he single?" Anyway, as the day went on, and we were there for a few hours, he kind of slid over to where I was, and he whispered in my ear. He was very young. Now, I'm a girl of a certain age. And he whispered in my ear, he said, "Can I ask you a question?" I said, "Sure." He said, now remember, this was Mother's Day, okay? So it was a bunch of mothers gathered at this gathering. Um, so he said, "What are you doing for the upcoming holiday?" And I said, "The upcoming holiday is Memorial Day." He said, "Well, what are you going to be doing?" I said, "Why?" He said, "Just answer the question. What are you going to be doing?" I said, "I'm going to be doing what I always do. I have a family, and they expect for me to barbecue or go to the park and have a nice picnic, something like that." So he said, "How about I take you out on Memorial Day?" I was like, "Take me out? Are you kidding?" He's like, "No. Can I take you out on Memorial Day?" I said, "Don't you have a woman to take out on Memorial Day?" He said, "I'd like to take you out on Memorial Day if you let me." He said, "Oh, your kids are grown. Why can't you go out? They can miss you for a day. And by the way, no excuses because I'm not taking no for an answer. Can I take you out on Memorial Day?" I said, "Okay, since you're going to be so persistent, all right." I said, "Well, where do you want to take me?" He said, "Don't worry about it. It's going to be a surprise. You're going to like it." So, as I said, I'm a girl of a certain age. Um, anyway, before he left, now the women were all around him like he was a movie star or something. And I was just tickled. I was wondering, is he asking anybody else to go on a date too? So after a while, he said, "Well, I'm going to be leaving." And he looked over at me and he blew me a kiss. And I was like, what the hell? Anyway, he came back over and he whispered in my ear. He said, "I'm going to be picking you up promptly on Memorial Day at 12 noon. So be ready. Don't be late. Wear something nice and classy. I know how you dress. I've seen you before. So just be classy, not too dressy, but just be your classy self." I was like, this boy is crazy. So I said, "Okay, you can come and pick me up and I'll be ready." So remember, this is Mother's Day. So on the days passing by, and Memorial Day is getting closer and closer. So I said, he must be crazy. He could have any woman he wants. Why would he want to take me out? So he had phoned me to see if we were still on for Memorial Day. I said, you crazy, but okay. This will be something different for me because I'm always with my family on holidays. He said, well, this holiday you're going to be with me. I said, all right. I said to myself, this is going to be a new and crazy adventure here. He said, so you're going to be ready at 12 o'clock on Memorial Day? I said, yeah, I'm going to be ready at 12 o'clock on Memorial Day. So I was wondering, what should I wear? You know, I'm not trying to be provocative and all that because, like I said, I'm a girl of a certain age. I have grown kids. And so I picked out some nice stonewashed jeans and gold loafers and nice, pretty white chiffon blouse and some jewelry, pearls. Ladies always wear pearls. Can't fail. So the day came. And I was getting ready. I said, he's not going to come. He's going to call me and he's going to tell me he changed his mind. Well, at about 11:45, I was peeping out my blinds and I saw his sports car parked right in front of my window. I was like, oh my God, he came. So I'm wondering, now where is this person going to take me? So anyway, when I opened the door, he came flying up to my door to take me by my hand and help me out the door. The neighbors were looking, you know, is she a cougar? What's going on? This fine man holding her hand and putting her in the car, closed the door. He got in and he fastened my seatbelt and looked at me and smiled and said, we're off for today. I said, wait a minute, where are you taking me? He said, you're going to like it. So we drove down the expressway, flying in his sports car. And he was looking so nice and smelling so good. And I said, ooh, to myself, the ladies are going to be jealous when they see me with this young thing. So when we got to the place, it was on the far north side of Chicago, nestled among boutiques and other eateries, you know, where the hip generation, as they used to call it, hung out, and a lot of young people and things. And it was so funny. When we were walking into the restaurant, he was holding my hand and sort of slightly in front of me, you know, because he was going to the desk to tell him that he had reservations. Heads were turning. I'm telling you, heads were turning. And so we got to our table and sat down. And he said, okay, you can order whatever you want, no matter what the cost is. And I'm saying to myself, what is going to be the cost? He said, I'm serious. Order whatever you want. I've been waiting to take you out on a date for a long time. I was like, are you kidding me? He said, I have been waiting to take you out on a date for a long time. You're such a classy lady. I said, well, okay, thank you. So we ordered and we ate. And we had nice conversation, just bubbly. He had this bubbly personality. And he was holding my hand across the table. And I was just in heaven. And we stayed in the restaurant, I don't know, maybe a couple of hours we were there. And he just made me feel so very special. It was so special. It was so special. And so, as we were leaving, he asked me, was there any place else I wanted to go? And so I told him, well, no, because, you know, it is the holiday. And I didn't tell the kids I was going to be gone all day. So I'm just going to go back home. So he brought me home Now, I don't live with any of my kids. I have my own place. He got out of the car, opened my car door, held me by my hand, helped me out, gave me the biggest hug and a kiss on the cheek. And so he closed the car door and walked me back to my door, gave me another hug, and he said I had the best time in the world. Like, it's just, he said, I said, for real? He said, for real. He said, I can't believe that I got to take a classy lady like you out on a date. Other guys have taken you out on a date. I wanted to take you on a date. And he said, this is not going to be the last one either. And he said, I'll call you later this evening. He kissed me on the cheek. And when he started to walk away, I said, oh my God, what a blessed lady I am. Because, friends, that was my grandson. Wonderful grandson. Gives me gifts all year long. Birthday, Mother's Day, Christmas, sweetest day, Valentine's Day. My grandson. I felt so special that he took time out of his busy schedule, because he's a hardworking man, so handsome any woman would want him. Took time out of his studies, everything, to spend time, quality time with his grandmother. I kept him for his whole first year of life while his parents worked. I changed his diapers. But folks, you see what being in your right place can get you? That's been a couple of years ago, more than that, more before 2019, because 2019 is the first time I caught COVID. And when I could only eat ice cream, he lived downtown Chicago. And he called me up one day. He said, Grandma, are you eating yet? I said, I can't stomach nothing but Pepsi and ice cream. He said, I'll be there in a few minutes. I said, where are you? He said, I'm at home. I said, but that's downtown. Don't come all the way to the suburb where I live. He said, I'll be there in a half an hour. In a half an hour, he was ringing my bell with a cherry Pepsi and a pint of Haagen-Dazs butter pecan ice cream. Gave me a kiss, jumped in his little sports car, and drove off. Can we just spread love, show love, and it will be reciprocated? You all have a great day. Bye-bye now.